else except for right here and except for with her. Now she has been a professional full-time DJ for 13 years. It's like a 7th grader. She's been a professional DJ for a 7th grader, y'all. She's spoken at Mobile Beat, Wedding MBA, and of course the Midwest DJs Live. And every single time that I've seen her speak, I always learn something. Even if it's something I've heard, it's like you hear something different the second time. And she's also just a huge inspiration. She's always trying to lift other people up so that we can all lift up together. Please, make some noise for the one and only DJ Stacy.
How about DJ Tori B, everybody? Washburn Entertainment out of Ithaca, New York. All right, so thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Apparently, some other people have chosen Digital Dave over me. Their loss. All right. So we're going to talk about blogging today. And I already had a great introduction, but I always like to show the picture with my daughter, Jennifer. I do bring her to a lot of conferences, not this year though, but you'll see her. If you go to a lot of conferences, you'll see her at some point. So we're going to be talking today just kind of a general overview of content marketing, what it is, why it's important. I'm going to kind of break down some comparisons between the Dewey Decimal System and how Google works, right? Because this is how we find content, right? We used to do the Dewey Decimal, now we have Google. We'll talk about categories, tags, and permalinks, the sidebar of your blog, huge important thing, some SEO tips, and I highly recommend you check out one of this gentleman's seminars while he's here. He's our kind of resident SEO expert. We'll talk about one of my secret weapons. I'm super excited to share this one with you. It's completely transformed my business. I've done whole seminars just on Section 5 by itself. And then finally, just a few miscellaneous tips and hacks. So this is the traffic to my website on the top before COVID. And obviously I wasn't posting a lot of material or whatever once COVID hit, or nothing's going on. And then I moved actually from San Diego to Cancun and working on starting a whole new blog now. So even without touching, I mean, I've posted maybe 3 things on that blog in the last year. I'm still getting 300-ish hits per day. So you know you're doing the right thing when Google starts, or when WordPress starts measuring your traffic in 200s, increments of 200s, you're on the right track. Content marketing is the present and future of marketing. It's efficient, compelling, and subtly persuasive. Are those things that work for millennials? Do they like in-your-face advertising and squeeze pages? No. This is what millennials are going to be a lot more attracted to. So a few statistics to kind of entice you guys on why this is so important. Content marketing gets 3 times the leads per dollar spent than paid search ads. So like Google AdWords, for example. Content marketing generates over 3 times as many leads as traditional advertising, but costs 62% less. Small businesses with blogs get 126% more lead growth than small businesses without blogs. 77%, which I think that's low, 77% of internet users read blogs. I mean, I don't even know how you can go on the internet and avoid blogs at this point, but you get the point, right? You imagine 126% increase in your lead growth. I mean, for something as easy and simple as I can explain in 45 minutes. After reading recommendations on a blog, 61% of US e-consumers made a purchase. Also good, content marketing is 6 times more powerful than traditional marketing for converting visitors to leads and leads to sales. Websites with blog content have 434% more search engine indexed pages than those that don't. All this stuff I'm going to break down for you guys in a super easy system. You're not even going to believe how easy this is going to be. And businesses publishing 16 or more posts a month get 3.5 times more traffic than businesses with 0 to 4 articles a month. And I'll tell you honestly, I'm getting these results without publishing anywhere near 16 blog posts a month. Not even close. All right, okay, so you're convinced about the traffic. Clearly, we're getting a lot of traffic with content marketing, but are the people visiting the website booking? Are they hitting the contact button? Yes, they are. I actually found you through your blog post about the venue. Super helpful info. I've been reading your blog and loving your passion for what you do. I am a corporate event planner in Australia. I was so close to to give you the free trip to Australia, by the way, to DJ their conference. I know. I saw your bio on Gig Masters and then also came across your blog. How did you hear about DJ Stacy? Search engine / Google. After reading your blog post, I seriously felt like you were reading my mind. You are just what we're looking for in a DJ. Do I have to like pay for a coffee for this person at Starbucks? They're like, where do I sign? Please send me a contract. Done. Sales process over. How did you hear about DJ Stacy? On your blog. Okay, so I have your attention now, right? Your interest is piqued. Okay, so step number 1 is creating an effective blog category system. Now remember how I told you we were going to kind of talk about the Dewey Decimal System and Google, right? Everybody knows how the Dewey Decimal System works. There's an intricate set of numbers that correspond to different subject matters of books. You know, these books are nonfiction based on this number, and these ones are fiction. And you can just walk into the library and say, okay, it's a number 7, 8, F, whatever. And you can literally just navigate right to it. And you know, when you get to that section of the library, all the books next to it are going to be same content, similar subject matter. Can you imagine Google was like, it's so completely the opposite, right? So what I'm going to be teaching you is kind of the Dewey Decimal System of Google. So if you're not doing these things, it would be the same thing as if I wrote a book and the publisher never got it cataloged in the Dewey Decimal System. It's just going to sit there in the basement of the library getting dusty. Okay? The same thing with your blog post if you do not do these steps. These steps are like getting that Dewey Decimal number on your blog post so people can find it, okay? So, your category system is kind of like the table of contents of a book. And if you don't have categories on your blog right now, you can go back and add them in and then recategorize the blog. This is a screenshot of the sidebar of my blog. I'm going to cut in half there so it would fit on the page. But it shows you all the categories. And you're welcome to, first screenshot any of this stuff, and also if you want me to send you slides later, that's fine. But we've got corporate events, personal stuff, music and mixes, news, real, San Diego weddings. And this is really where our bread and butter is, okay? Wedding planning, and so forth, okay? Now, under the real weddings, this is where we get into the juicy stuff. Balboa Park weddings, East San Diego weddings, La Jolla weddings, Mission Bay weddings, and then we go even deeper. San Diego backyard weddings, San Diego barn weddings, San Diego garden weddings. Okay, you want to think of as many things that brides are sitting down at Google and searching for, and put those categories onto your blog, because somebody is searching San Diego golf course weddings, and they're getting a bunch of golf courses, or they could get your blog post that has all that stuff neatly laid out, all in a nice order, and they don't have to go through all these different sites and try and find prices and contact info. You just put it right there for them. This is just a kind of another breakdown of the categories on my blog if you want to see it in kind of a different format there. But important to really think about what content you want to have before you kind of get started. How many of you guys already have blogs? Okay, so if you don't already have one, the good thing is you can start one with the right foundation and save a lot of potentially wasted time because you're going to start it off the right way. Okay, so if, like I was just saying with San Diego golf course weddings, right? If I were to type into Google, in this example I'm just using San Diego August weddings, what you're going to find is that each one of those categories, all those detailed categories we just discussed, all of those individual categories get indexed by Google. I don't have to do any extra work. It's like I already have kind of a new website called San Diego August Weddings. And I have a new website that can be found on Google. You can search for it on Google of San Diego golf course weddings and all those categories that I mentioned. Now you'll notice here, my blog category on San Diego August Weddings outranks San Diego Style Wedding Magazine and Exquisite Wedding San Diego Wedding Magazine. Because I'm doing a better job of organizing my content than the magazines are. It's really that easy. This is so much more than just sitting down at a blank screen and starting to write. Okay, it's really understanding how Google is finding these blog posts. Yeah.
is it ranking higher because of the indexing that you're using or because of the keywords that you're using that are popping up?
I don't know how Google does whatever they do, I just know the stuff that I'm teaching you works. That's probably a better question for that guy right there. I took a blogging course, and ever since then, I implemented it, and it started working, and the stuff works, so we'll keep doing it. Okay, number 2 is the tagging. So upper categories, the tagging is like the index of a book. So you kind of understand like the subtle difference between the types of things on the table of contents or the categories are going to be more like your major themes, right? On your tag system, you're going to get like into kind of deeper sort of niche type of things, right? So typically we're going to see the tags on a blog post is at the bottom. And here on this example, I always use the tag female San Diego wedding DJ because I'm always a female San Diego wedding DJ no matter where I go. So I always tag it like that in case people are looking for a female DJ in the area. And then I also always do a tag with the name of the venue, wedding. So in this case, Rancho Valencia Resort Wedding. And I'll show you some of the other tags that I use right now as well. These are all the tags that I use. I do speak Spanish, so for example, I do a lot of bilingual weddings. So one of the tags I would use is English-Spanish bilingual wedding. Friday weddings, interweek, intercultural weddings, corporate events, daytime weddings, anything that you can think that a bride might be searching for, that's what you want to tag your stuff. So that they have all this organized content all in one place, and when they're looking for daytime weddings in San Diego, you're going to be the only one with that kind of information. Okay, next step is our permalinks. The permalinks are the URL for the blog post, okay? If you use WordPress, you're going to see the default setting will generate like what you see on the bottom here. Question mark, P equals, blah, blah, blah. Does Google get any juice from reading that? No, it's just a code, right? So you could go into your settings and ask it to make custom URLs, in which case you can type in your keywords and whatever you want to put there. So like the one you see on the top here, got all my keywords shoved into my sales page there, so you can do the same. This is a really helpful thing because a lot of people, if they don't know, they're going to use that default setting in WordPress and they're going to realize they're losing a lot of SEO juice. Okay, let's talk about the sidebar of the blog. So you guys have been on the blog, right, where you just kind of feel like there's nothing on the sides and it's just words down the middle, okay? And you're like, well, I've gone into a tunnel, a Google tunnel of some kind. It just feels a little weird, like how do I get out of here now, right? I'm going to tell you a little story, it's unrelated. Mixcloud actually contacted me like 2 weeks ago. They contacted me to write for them. So I was, through the roof. I was very excited, right? And I kind of got the feeling as we talked about the writing that they, and this stays in the room, right? We didn't know what they were doing. So we went on their blog and I was like, oh yeah, they don't know what they're doing. Has anyone ever been on Mixcloud's blog?
No.
Okay, so you understand what I'm talking about. They don't know. There was no sidebar. The posts were terrible. It was disorganized. There was no categories. There was no tagging. Any of this really basic stuff. So even these mega corporations, a lot of times, they think that just writing good content is enough, and it's not. It has to be organized like this, okay? So one of the main ways that you're going to help people navigate around in your blog is with the sidebar, okay? So that gives them the ability to look at similar topics, to read up on, whatever it is that you're writing about. So whether it's real weddings or however you want to do it. On my blog, I have like a little intro with a fun GIF. You can put an availability checker, contact form, a search bar. You can display all of your blog's categories, which I definitely recommend, again, because the categories are the blogs. Table of contents. Awesome. People are slightly awake. And you can do a subscription form to the blog. You can also do like a social media feed because we're in the wedding industry, most of us. I definitely have my Pinterest feed is on there. Recent comments, popular posts, all that kind of stuff you can put on the side there. The reason this is so important is because these things are elements of your sales funnel. If you don't have an availability checker or some contact information, they could love the blog post and be like, this DJ sounds really knowledgeable, love to work with this DJ, but they're like, where's the little button? Where's my call to action? You can't confuse people. If they have to scroll up, you're gonna lose them. Yeah. This is the full sidebar of my blog from top to bottom, chopped up into 4 pieces. That kind of makes sense. So at the top there is the welcome, and then all the way down at the bottom, I guess we've got it in 5 columns here, like wedding wire awards. But I have like a mix they can listen to. When I was back in San Diego, I had residencies, so I got flyers for all my upcoming stuff. So yeah, those are what all of your elements that you want to incorporate in there again, so they don't have that vacuum feeling, and so you can keep them reading more content. You can encourage them to hit a contact button. We'll talk about some SEO stuff. One of the most important things is, of course, the keywords, right? This is really, really important. If you want to use the system that I use, which I would recommend, it's really, really easy, and I'm going to break it down in the next few slides for you. But what we're going to do is we're going to put your keyword phrase in the title, and the subheadings, and images, and we're going to use anchor links. And I'm going to explain right now what all of these things are. But all the stuff is going to really help you with your Google Dewey Decimal System to be seen. So what I've done is I just took one of my real wedding blog posts, and we're going to walk through all of these elements that I just mentioned. So in this case, we have Hannah and Brian's In and Out, like the restaurant, Secluded Garden Estates Wedding. What I recommend is that the meat of your blog be these real wedding write-ups, because brides, before they hire DJs, which is when you want to make friends with them and earn their trust, are looking for venues. And if you have a bunch of content that they can search regarding their venue, they're going to see you, I guarantee you, okay? So, what happens? Bride books the venue, then she wants to look at every other wedding that happened at that venue, because she wants to know, how did they do their floor plan, and what happened if I decided to put the dance floor over here, right? They're analyzing every wedding that's ever happened at this venue, so they can make decisions about their own wedding. So if you have content there, they're going to see. And you want to specifically put your energy towards writing about venues that you want to return to, because you want to book more stuff there, right? You want to work more brides at that venue. So a few things to keep in mind. Okay, so we have our keyword phrase is venue wedding. And we're going to repeat that in the URL, in the permalink, which you see right there beneath. And then here at the beginning is an anchor link. An anchor link is when I link a piece of, like a phrase of text in my blog post to one of my other blog posts. So I'm creating a network between all of my content, again, to help people, like the casino, how they make it confusing so you can't leave. That's what your anchor links are doing. You're trying to keep them on the site, right? Well, I wonder what happens if I click here. Okay, so all of my real wedding write-ups, they always start in a similar way like this. Of all the San Diego wedding DJs who've never eaten at In and Out, because I'm vegetarian, Hannah and Brian chose me, blah, 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 blah. So that's an easy way to get in my keyword phrase for me personally, San Diego wedding DJ, and then I link that to my sales page. And then as we continue down here, we have Secluded Garden Estates Wedding. So the keyword phrase, it should be in the title, it should be in the first sentence, and it should be in the permalink. Okay? And we'll scroll down a bit into the blog post here. You'll see that I have subheadings. The ceremony, Secluded Garden Estates wedding reception. Subheadings are really important. Yes, when you have a millennial attention span, subheadings are good just for general scannability and readability, right? But they're important from a Google search point of view, because Google, I mean rightfully so, assumes that if you have a subheading about something, it must be a heavier theme in your writing than just the regular text, right? Because this is a summary of what follows. Okay, so they give more search juice to what's in the subheading. So your title is the most important, and then you have your subheadings, and then the actual text, right? Which probably they're not going to read anyway, right? So Use subheadings. Okay, so here I squeezed in again, secluded garden estates wedding reception. So I've got venue name, wedding. Scroll down a little bit more. Now we're looking at the images, okay? What I recommend that you do is take a couple of pictures from your cell phone. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Because I'm not doing like professional photos, I make all my images into little collages like this so that they're smaller. So you can't like really blow them up and see like this came from a cell phone. It's not a professional, I'm not a wedding photographer, but just so there's a few images because people want to see what their wedding could look like at that venue. So you got to show them this is what a wedding looked like at your venue. So what you want to do, once you have your, whatever you're going to decide to do your pictures, what you want to do is you want to erase whatever title, like from your cell phone, like image 5, June 1st, 2020, or whatever, you know, like automatically assigned name your phone gives or your camera gives. You want to get rid of that and you want to use venue name, wedding 1, venue name, wedding 2, venue name, wedding 3. That's how all your pictures are called from now on, okay? So when you upload the picture to Google, we have the search word, the keyword phrase appears again in the image, and then we have this little thing here called alt text. Have you guys been on a website and like an empty box kind of appeared, and it just said, picture of the Dalai Lama, but there's no actual picture? That's the alt text, okay? So it's just another opportunity to squeeze in your keyword phrases kind of behind the scenes, so it's not clogging up any reading or anything like that. So you want to make the image title and the alt text to include the keyword phrase. And this is kind of showing the back end. So on the coding side, this is what it's going to look like. It's going to say secluded garden estates wedding 1.jpg. So you won't see it on the front end when you upload it, but it's important because it is in there and it is searched by all the Google crawlers. Okay, secret weapon. This is good stuff, you guys. What if there was a free search engine that all brides use that sent out free email blasts to your ideal clients right at the moment when they were searching for you? And that was primarily used by people shopping, buying stuff. Does that sound pretty good? You guys want to be on a bride-only search engine where they got their wallets open? That place is called Pinterest. Okay? There's a lot of confusion in our industry, especially by men, about Pinterest and why it's so important. Okay? If you can understand how YouTube is a search engine for videos, Pinterest is the same thing, but for pictures. It is a search engine. It is not a social media site. You do not go on Pinterest and go live. You do not update your status on Pinterest. You do not tag people on Pinterest. That is for Facebook and Instagram, for social media. Just like you don't do that stuff on YouTube, right? You don't tag people and check in at YouTube, okay? So, in a quick kind of nutshell here, what you're going to do is you're going to write up your real wedding blogs, okay? Which I'm going to show you at the end, so you're not even writing them. Somebody else is going to write them for you based on a very simple rubric. And after that post gets written, you post it to Pinterest. Now, this is what I recommend that you do. After you write the blog post and you publish it, you take a screenshot of it with your cell phone. Because your cell phone is the ideal image, it's the ideal dimension of a pin. It's tall, skinny, vertical. Okay, so you don't even have to do any graphics. Whatever feature image you already had on the blog post, it's already there. You just have it now in a pin-friendly shape. So you take a screenshot of the blog post with your phone, and then you upload it to your Pinterest account. Your Pinterest account should have all the same categories that your blog has, and then, except on Pinterest, they're called boards. And you just put all your content right in there. So you have your real wedding boards, and then all where the real weddings were on your blog, they're also on your Pinterest. Okay? And then as people share those and repin them and put them on their wedding boards, all of those pins are just little doorways leading back to your website, okay? So these grow exponentially on Pinterest because people are sharing them and reposting them on their wedding boards. So you had one arrow going out from your website, and some of these you get hundreds from one pin coming back to your website. If I still haven't convinced you, okay, this is what the traffic looks like from Pinterest. So coming in from Google, 365,415. Pinterest, second place, 44,000. That is 10 times more than all of my other social media accounts combined, okay? Facebook is coming in with 3,000. Pinterest, 44,000, okay? It's free. Brides are there. No reason not to use it. It's just a search engine, okay? You don't have to freak out. It's not a ladies only thing, okay? Okay, we're going to talk about actual content for the blog. What are you going to put on this blog now you know how it organizes, right? Firm believer in reusing, reducing, and recycling your content, okay? Because I don't know about you, but I don't have time to just sit down at a blank screen and start writing stuff. Okay, we all go to weddings here, right? That's your content. That's all you need. We all already have it. Here's what you're going to do. I'm going to teach you how to turn one wedding into 4 blog posts, none of which require any writing. The first thing you can do is you can interview another vendor from the wedding. Photographer that you really like to work with. Caterer that really does a good job of getting you your dinner during cocktail hour instead of making you wait until the end. Okay? Whatever vendor that you like and you want to work more with, you say, hey, really enjoyed working with you, it's great meeting with you. Would it be cool if I interviewed you for my blog? Who's going to say no? You guys know a lot of people that are like turning down business right now? No, of course they're going to say yes. All you have to do is you say, great, on Monday I'm just going to email you like 10 questions, pick and choose the ones you want to answer, and then send me a couple of photos. This is how you write the blog post. Copy and paste, WordPress. Okay, can you guys do that? Okay, you. Okay, he can't do it. But the rest of you can do it, okay? If you can't, you can get a virtual assistant who can copy and paste for you. All right, next one. Well, these are some examples. So on my website, I refer to these interviews as San Diego wedding rock stars. And then when people ask me, is there any makeup artists you refer? I just send them over here, and guess what? I get to work with my friends more often. My friends want to give me leads more often. It's literally a win-win for everybody. Next thing you can do is you can post a playlist from the wedding. This doesn't work at every wedding, right? But a lot of times you're going to get a really cool like cocktail hour playlist that's, you know, oh, it's like a salsa and bachata theme. All right, cool. Someone has just handed you a free blog post. This is content. Someone created some content for you. Post it. Okay? So on my website, when I post the playlists, again, it's a copy and a paste. Okay? I will, though, add a Spotify playlist or a YouTube or both, just, again, so I'm in more places, I got more links coming back in, and, you know, I'm more visible. But again, this is a really, really easy way. People are sending us playlists all the time. Next thing you can do is, and this one does require a slight amount of writing, okay? Tips for having a wedding at their venue. So you have like some downtime during cocktail hour or whatever. Take out the notes on your phone and just, okay, you know what? There was no wheelchair ramp from the parking lot, but the curb wasn't that high. A lot of free parking, but there was no shade. Start thinking about the tips of what you're observing having worked at that wedding. Nobody cleaned the bathroom the whole night, so you might want to just make sure to tell your venue coordinator, can we get the garbage emptied halfway through the night in the bathroom? All these kind of little things, you don't understand that you become an expert at that, working at that venue by having only done one wedding there. All these little things that to us are like, oh yeah, that place never has the garbages cleaned in the bathroom. That stuff is like whatever to us, but to the bride, these are big things. These are the kind of things people want to know about. So you write down a few of these things, put them in a blog post, and again, do this for venues where you like to work at. And you're going to get more brides from those venues contacting you. Yeah.
That's kind of my question is like, you know, do you ever, what if you have something kind of, what if there's something really good to say?
Yeah, then it's not a place I like to work, and I only want to write about places where I want to get booked to go back there.
Okay.
So my favorite, 5 or 10 venues, I write a lot of stuff about those venues. I'll do tips, I'll do real weddings, and blah, 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 blah. But definitely don't waste your time on venues you don't want to go back to. the loading's crappy and the food is terrible, you don't need to write about all of them. These are some examples of those tip posts. So, i.e., these are some of my favorite venues in San Diego. And finally, the real wedding write-up. Now, that sounds like terrifying to a lot of people, right? I get this, weddings are complicated, they're complex, how am I going to write about all this stuff? How many of you guys make outlines for your weddings? You know, some kind of a timeline, a playlist, some kind of documentation, right? I mean, every hand in the room should be going up unless you don't DJ weddings, okay? We all already have a blog post. Whatever you're using to DJ the wedding can be converted into a blog post with a few simple changes, right? So, again, these are some of mine. You already saw a sample.
I was late, I'm sorry.
Okay. You already saw a sample from that In-N-Out wedding at the Secluded Garden Estates. That's my wedding script, and then at the bottom I just tag the vendors. That's literally it, and I just have a rubric where I have my virtual assistant change around the formatting a little bit to add in, of all the San Diego wedding DJs who've never, eaten at In-N-Out. So I have those kind of phrases where I make sure I got my keywords and my anchor links and so forth. And they literally, my virtual assistant, I send them the wedding outline, and he has the instructions already in my template. And he takes okay, this paragraph goes here in the blog post, this playlist goes here in the blog post, okay? So I do have literally the exact outline. All these templates that I'm telling you are available on my DJ Business Coaching website if you're interested in looking into it further. And it's literally the exact same one that my virtual assistant uses. Everything is the exact same. And yeah, so that's available at weddingbizconsultant.com, and then there's a little button that says for DJs. If you have any questions, you have my email and you can contact me. Happy to help. Okay, so we're going to talk about some miscellaneous last-minute things to really help you get some traffic to the blog. The titles of your blog posts are really, really, really important. If you're doing something like 5 wedding tips, okay, even if you've done all of the proper Dewey Decimal System stuff, no one's going to read it because it's just not interesting enough. It has to be sizzling. You are welcome to get a picture of this. You can also just Google good blog titles. I mean, there's a lot of posts that have all of these kind of samples already in them. So, refer to like my dirty little secret too, and what the experts aren't going to tell you about Rancho Valencia Golf Course, or whatever. You need to kind of take it up a notch on the titles. If you put effort into any of this stuff that your virtual assistant is not doing, make it the titles. Okay, this is definitely one you want to get a picture of. Places to share your blog posts for free backlinks. Okay, backlinks are other sites that link to us, and the more of those we have, the more Google likes. Okay, so the higher we're going to go in the search engine rankings when we have more sites linking to us. So what you can do is, once you have the permalink of your blog post, you have the actual post published, you can go to these sites, and you'll notice Pinterest is right there in red with a giant arrow because that's where the brides are. And you can repost your blogs to these sites. It's not going to duplicate your content, it is a link to your blog. Okay, you could you go on your Facebook business page, for example, and you put the link to your blog. Okay.
Hi.
Oh, yes, sir.
I believe Pinterest is a no-follow site.
Yeah, it is. But you're still going to be getting, again, it's a search engine for rights, and I already showed you the numbers. It's well worth your time.
So those metrics have been vetted?
All of these sites?
Yeah.
Vetted how?
Like in terms of the actual backlink juice, because here's the thing, if it's a no-follow, right? Like it's the same thing like Wikipedia. I busted my ass for years to try and get links on Wikipedia. Then they changed to a no-follow.
Yeah, I mean, I highly recommend anyone to hire at some point in their career, hire an SEO expert, because, I mean, not only are things constantly changing and things like this, but When I hired an SEO expert, I actually found that I had, at one point, had a virtual assistant that did blog commenting for me, which means they go on these big wedding blogs like Style Me Pretty, they'll leave a comment like, oh, cute wedding, and then you get an opportunity to put your website in there. So that's the purpose of these blog comments, is all these people want to get these backlinks to their websites. And I thought, oh, everybody says that doesn't work anymore. And then I find out I have like all these links coming in from these sites that were supposed to be no backlink, or were supposed to be no follow, or, you know, all kinds of different terms. So I just feel like because of the changing nature of things, you're certainly not going to lose by posting to these. This is what I've been doing. I'm showing you my recipe on how I'm getting the kind of 300-400 visitors per day. This is how I'm doing it. Everything I'm sharing with you is the recipe that got these results. Oh, yeah.
So to make sure I'm clear about the Pinterest, what you're saying to do is write the blog, post it on your site, go on your phone, take a screenshot
of the blog post.
Of the blog post itself.
Yep.
Post it as a picture
as
to
a pin.
Pinterest.
Yep.
Well, that's it. That's it.
So you'll create your own Pinterest account for your business. You'll set it up. You'll get another free link to your website because Pinterest will give you a link, and you'll go into your Pinterest account, and there's like a little plus button. You can add whatever pins you want, and each time you post something, and it could be YouTube videos as well. They do videos now on Pinterest. They need to be vertical, or you can do a screenshot of a horizontal one and turn it into a vertical pin. Nevertheless, you just take a screenshot of whatever the piece of content is of the playlist. And for certain things, you can even get more than one pin. For a playlist, for example, I can do a pin of just the playlist, and I can also do a pin of the blog post. And it's just, again, it's more links back to the same thing. That answer your question?
Thank you.
This is a place where you can get free backlinks or free link backs for your blog. Okay, so these are places where you can make a listing for your DJ business that will link to your website. So this doesn't necessarily have to be related to a blog post in any way. But these are like, you know, Wedding Wire and The Knot, those kind of listing sites. But some of the lesser known ones, they're free, they're on page 4 of Google and whatever. But the links are still more juice coming into your site that will help you with search engine ranking. So you want to get a picture of that, and then, you know, next week or whatever you have time, make listings for your business on all of these pages.
Quick question. So I was looking up recently Google. You know, they have like all the business owners, the celebrities, the athletes, when you like type their name in, they have that little page, like a brief bio and stuff like that. What is that called? And can that be used for DJs and just anybody, or do you have to be a celebrity?
No, it doesn't have to be for a celebrity. I have some blog posts that will show up the same way, and it has, again, everything to do with how your site and your post are organized. Because if they can't pick up tags, and they can't pick up categories, and you don't have a sitemap on your website, they're not going to understand how everything is organized in the kind of way that they need to present those little, I don't know what the technical term is.
Is that a separate like thing you go in and actually just create?
No, I mean, Google picks those. I mean, as far as I know, he's the SEO expert, but as far as I know, the ones that I've noticed in search results that my blogs appear, I didn't do anything special or different. The main thing is you have to have a sitemap for your website. That is a huge, huge, huge thing, because that's how it's going to read where all these things are, so it understands, okay, I can answer that question because I know on this site it has everything laid out exactly how that person is asking.
So Google just creates that? Like,
Google creates that, yeah. It doesn't have anything to do with the website or people being famous or, yeah. Okay, there we get a picture of this one. So, and yeah, some time for Q&A. Any questions? Still awake? Yeah, go ahead.
Do you write all your content, or do you hire anybody who?
I don't really write any of the content. As I was saying, so much of it is generated by content that's already given to me and then just reformatted. A couple of other blogs that I do that, you know, so you guys can understand some more ways to kind of generate content without doing any writing. Another one that I do is called a roundup post. And this can be done any number of ways. The way that I do it is I look at all the top wedding blogs, which there's a website called Top 100 Wedding Blogs. I have my virtual assistant go there and I say, just look through however many of these sites until you find new weddings that were published in San Diego.
Who's the virtual assistant, by the way?
I use Upwork.com, and that's my website, my SEO, my logo person, all those people are all from Upwork.
What do they cost for that again, Stacey?
My website guy is like $8 an hour, the logo person is $11 an hour. All these people are in like Bangladesh, Romania, India.
Is Upwork like Fiverr?
Fiverr, yeah, it's very similar to Fiverr. There's other sites too that do the same thing, but I use Upwork personally. Okay, so you can go and look through these wedding blogs and pull out weddings from your city, and then there's a blog post. 5, published weddings from San Diego, and then you just screenshot of those weddings. Another one you can do is, I go on I'll have my assistant go on Wedding Wire, go on the venue page for our city, and then on the side, it just says, golf courses and restaurants and all the different types of venues, right? So I'm like, okay, click each one and turn it into a blog post. So now we have 17 San Diego waterfront wedding venues, 9 San Diego golf club wedding venues. You know what I mean? There's so many ways to generate content without involving any actual writing. I will say my most popular blog post did require a lot of writing, and if you want to devote yourself to like one blog post, it definitely worked for me. This is what I go to this conference, Social Media Marketing World, every year, and one of the things that I heard there just completely changed my philosophy on blogging, but they just said, what's the one thing that only you could write about? I'm like, oh man, okay. And I thought about it, and I said, well, I lived in Mexico for 8 years, currently living in Cancun, and I speak both languages, and a lot of my weddings are intercultural, and I thought, okay, it's got to be something with that, because nobody is American, but also like DJing in Mexico. Like, this is my thing, right? So what I ended up creating was 30 gringo-friendly Spanish dance songs for an intercultural Mexican wedding. This one blog post generates like 80% of the traffic to my website. That one blog post. So if you feel like something's calling out to you, like you have some niche, like what I just described, take the time, take the 2 or 3 days to write that blog post. I guarantee you, it'll pay off.
How many words do you recommend?
I put a lot of words in it. It's probably 800, 1,000 words plus the actual playlist at the bottom. But I explained my background. I mean, literally no secret sauce is withheld. It explains, okay, so the white people are going to go home first. You guys heard, Hispanic people are going to be typically dancing until the end, so you need to play these songs for these people. I mean, it's literally everything that I've learned as a wedding DJ in this particular market, I put all of it in there. There's no holds barred. Literally everything I know about DJing intercultural Mexican weddings is in that blog post. Other questions? Yeah.
What would you say your percentages of like users that go to your website from the blogs that actually lead into like a lead gen?
I don't know if you were here in the beginning when I kind of showed some of the emails of the people that contacted me.
I did. Did they
Okay.
like 1% or like, I guess?
Yeah, no, it's around 40%.
Oh, wow.
And I actually quit paying for the knot like a year before the pandemic started because I didn't need that traffic anymore. Anyone else? Yeah.
Forgive me if you already covered this before I got out of the other seminar, but where is the industry at now with what's legal as far as taking a picture at a wedding and then using it elsewhere?
Just make sure that you have in your contract, I'm going to be taking pictures during your wedding for personal use, for promotion on my website and my social media. I think once in all the years I've been DJing weddings, once somebody told me that they were comfortable with that. And I was like, no problem. But most couples, they don't even read the contract. The ones that do don't care about the pictures anyway because they know everyone's going to have their phone out the whole night anyway. So that's been the way that I've handled it.
Yeah, another comment on that as you were saying that. I'm just in the middle, like yesterday, adding a portion of that to my contract that's really, really detailed. So what I do at the end, like halfway through the event, when the adults are starting to get a little drunk, I'll make 2 to 3 announcements from the middle of the event towards the end. Hey, just a reminder, please be careful of what you do throughout the rest of the event. There are photos and videos being taken. That is your that way the bride can't say like, you know, I got fired because, you know.
Yeah,
I didn't
definitely
take photos
another
of my
way to
drunk,
just make it
whatever.
very clear, like people have.
My cousin
camera
had that
phones.
happen, so.
Well.
Yes.
Similar to what Steve just said, I also have had in my contract for a long time as well. And for many years now, probably 2 clients said to me, we don't want pictures taken. I read this
It happens, yeah.
for whatever reason. I think one guy was a police officer and she was a teacher or something. So I knew it up front.
Yeah, I know it going in, and that's fine, and I just get like a selfie of me behind the booth before anyone even gets there, and then I at least have something for Instagram, and that's it. I don't need to post every single event that I do. That's fine.
Certain schools are very picky with that. Like they'll tell you right when they sign.
Yeah, I don't do too many school events, but yeah, that's a whole other. Yeah, a whole other thing. Any other questions?
What inspired the Blondie t-shirt today, Stacey?
Oh, the Blondie t-shirt. Well, I always like to wear band shirts when I speak because we're DJs. And I was kind of at the top of the rotation, so that's my timer. Yeah, I have like a 9 Inch Nails one that I do, and I have all kinds of shirts. So today was Blondie.
Can you tell us a little bit about the consulting end, what you do?
Yeah, of course. So, I mean, typically when people contact me, what they really want is kind of audit of their website and their social media, and then they want to know, what can I do to improve things. Sometimes people will contact me because they want to like rebrand, and again, that really starts with an audit of what they already have. But most of the people that I work with, what ends up happening, regardless of how they've contacted me, is a rewrite of the homepage. One, so it's more SEO friendly, but also so the copy is more fresh. And they're really targeting more of an ideal client, because I'm sure we've all been on other DJs' websites and we've seen like, there's a lot of overlap here. All of our websites kind of look the same, right? Has that not occurred to anyone? So if you really want to have a website that stands out, there really is a lot of forethought that needs to kind of go into that. Actually, I just wrote an article about like how to write up your wedding wire and your knot profiles, and it's a lot of the same kind of copywriting theory. But if anyone saw me last year, 2 years ago at DJ Expo, that was actually my topic, was how to create kind of sexy web copy. But yeah, that's primarily what I do. I have packages, I charge by the hour, so there's a lot of options. Also on the consulting and coaching site, there are ebooks that you can buy, and the package that I just showed that has like all the templates for the blogging and the wedding outlines. So yeah.
Do you do like surveys and stuff like that, or polls on a blog, like get people like surveys and blogs, or like polls?
Yeah, you can do like job form or whatever, or there's plugins for WordPress where they have questionnaires and options, something you could do. Yeah. Any other questions? Thank you guys so much for being such a great audience. I'm really happy to answer any questions that you have about blogging. I know a lot of you said you didn't have a blog yet, so I know it's really intimidating. Please don't feel uncomfortable or like you're bothering me. I put my contact information up there for a reason. Don't hesitate to reach out and ask for help. I might direct you towards a coaching package, but I am here to help, and if it's a simple question, I'll definitely answer that right away. You can catch me in the hall, and I'm happy to help.
You say you work in Cancun?
Yeah, I live in Cancun.
And you have beauty production and everything like that. Let's say I was doing an event down there.
Oh my God, this is such a long story. I moved there a year ago, basically to retire so I could kind of focus more on my daughter and stuff like that. And obviously moving somewhere during COVID is like a really tricky thing, especially in the DJ field. So I didn't really reach out to even start marketing or launch planners or anything until literally like a month ago. And I was the only American, DJ in town. Obviously, a lot of the other upper end planners were very interested in, set up meetings with me and stuff. So yeah, I feel like things are starting to pick up wedding-wise in Cancun. And if you guys ever have events in the area, anywhere in Riviera Maya, because people bring down their own DJs all the time, I can definitely help you out with this is who to rent gear from, this is who to not rent gear from, and any other travel tips or just local things you want to know about for
Yeah,
sure.
'cause I'll be at the Hyatt Ziva in April.
Oh, okay.
Anytime
That's right by my house.
Yeah, anytime we do destination weddings, it's such a pain in the ass. Sorry,
Yeah.
lack of better words, but.
Yeah, I also used to live in Puerto Vallarta, and I know like Cabo and Ensenada pretty well from DJing weddings there too. So if you, I mean, really anywhere in Mexico, you probably know somebody that could help.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, thank you guys so much. Please don't hesitate to contact me and.
Bye.